Morning, everybody. Sorry I'm running a little late here. Give me a couple seconds and I'll be all set up. Had to drop my son's car off at a mechanic. So we have a little bit of a electrical issue going on. His brake lights won't go off, and he needs his car for work. So I told him I would drop it off for him, and he's going to deal with it later. So let's see. All right, let's get everything put away here so you guys don't have to look at my crap. Get my phone charging up. Good morning. Give me 1 second to grab a soda here, guys. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Alright, good morning, guys. I'm here. Don't know if anybody's in yet or if I can see anybody. Hey, I'm here. Alright, let me try to hit Dawn up also and Rob. Where did Rob go? Oh, come on, there he is. Alright, good morning, everybody. I don't know who's here yet and or who's going to show. Hey, Dave. That's okay, Bull. I figured you was a working brother. I appreciate you coming in and dropping in and saying hey. What you're looking at here on the screen here is a white Freightliner, as you can tell. I am going to be turning into a camper. This is basically just how I left it last night so that it would dry up into place. I'm going to remove the tape now and get the bottles out of the way. I've still got to putty and sand everything down and all that kind of good stuff. But it's the start of the frame. The start of the frame of just the camper shell. My idea is to build the chassis next, which is probably going to be sometime tonight or tomorrow, and then I'm going to attach the side rails, what I'm calling the side brace rails, to the inside or the outside. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to make it wider, but supposedly it's supposed to sit like something like so, and when it's level, it'll sit like this. Of course, it'll be up on the chassis, so everything will be up about yay high. I'm hoping to have the cab and chassis and everything just fall down, kind of like on top of the camper, like so. I do have a window that I'm just using sprue, as you can see, just old sprue pieces that I've been accumulating for the frames. I have my styrene sheets here that I'm going to use for other things. I have pieces of plastic that I'm going to use for the rafters across and everything. So it's going to be a very long build on this one because I am scratching everything. This is a rebuilder I got from Sam Stokes, one of the rebuilders like my Freightliner dump truck that I had. I'm just kind of like taking a break from new kits and doing a scratch build for the next few videos. Hopefully when she's done, she will look pretty nice. Again, it's going to have, somebody mentioned 3 axles. I'm not quite so sure I'm going to do 3 axles. That'd be an awful lot to handle on, it's really not going to be any longer than that. I do plan on stretching the chassis. I'm going to have to, because if I put the chassis in where it goes, like so, you can see the chassis would end like right about here. So I am going to have to extend the chassis out so I can put the bumper on, and I'm definitely going to do dual axles in the back. I'm going to do dual fuel tanks on each side. There'll be ladders on both sides. My wife says it'd be really cool if I could put like a sun deck on top of it, because it is such a big truck. It should be able to handle, almost a party crew, and that's why I'm kind of like putting braces in the top. So this is the roof idea that I had for the basic box. I just need to make it strong enough because I'm using a .030 thickness styrene sheets. It's going to be kind of like so, something like so when I'm done. I have some of the pits marked on it already. I'm not quite so sure exactly how well that's going to work. I wish I could do 5 or 6 axles, Sam. Shoot, man, I have enough problems doing 2 axles, brother. But that's my idea. I got it from every time I told my wife last night that I was going to do a car carrier, she kept telling me, "You mean a trailer? So you mean a camper?" So I guess I'm doing a camper, guys. This is going to be on the one of the main windows that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this as like a window opening, so it's going to have a nice big picture window on one side. On the passenger side, it'll have a door and 2 smaller windows. as well as Rob Shugru mentioned that I should have an outdoor kitchen barbecue type area, so I'm probably going to end up doing that. My wife asked me if I was going to be able to do a slide out on it. I don't know if I have the capabilities in my brain to do a slide out, although it does sound pretty cool. But this is my basic idea, guys. I'm sure you guys all do models, so you guys can kind of look at it and tell what I'm thinking of. Excuse the next sound. Pepsi in the morning. um, I got through with my coffee about an hour ago, so I still need some go-go juice, so I'm using Pepsi as my caffeine. Anyways, this is my idea. So, hi Sam, appreciate you guys, appreciate you Dave jumping in and saying hi guys. I don't know who else will show. I'm popping it out live on Facebook. My next couple of videos will be the builds will be on Facebook, and any of my unboxings or anything of that nature will be on the YouTube channel. I'd like to give a shout out though. I told one of my members, which is a very cool guy. His name is Dave. Um, he owns Lad's Body Shop and Repair. The family is his wife, Lisa, and Lisa is his daughter. Dave is him, and son Dave. They all work there. They're all a family business. He didn't tell me exactly where he was located, so hang on. Where are you located? There we go. All right, so I just texted him, but I want to give him a shout out. He does excellent work from what I've seen. His name, again, the name is Lad's Body Repair and Detailing. His wife handles the detailing areas, I'm sure, is with his daughter and his son, but he handles the repairs. So he's telling me. All right. Mount Sterling, Ohio. Sorry. Lad's Auto Repair and Detailing in Mount Sterling, Ohio, guys. So if you guys are in the area, go check him out. Dave's a great guy. He's been talking to me for a while now. He showed me a bunch of his work, and he does some really great work. His wife does some great detailing. They do all kinds of cars, it appears there from the pictures that I've seen. So if you guys want to go check them out, that's Lad's Auto Repair and Detailing. It is in Mount Sterling, Ohio. He is one of our members, good standing members, been around for a while. I told him this morning when I was chatting with him that I'd give him a shout out. So there's your shout out, Dave. Another shout out would go to Candy Gilmore and Tony for It's All Junk. I told them I would do that. I told her I would do that too when I do videos. And also Australia Mini Models. Also a shout out to our Facebook channels, the Plastic Addictions Anonymous channel group and the Model Asylum group. Shout out to Sam Stokes, Paul Lovelace, Chris Bryan, Joe Fritz, and all my friends and family on my model groups. Again, this is basically where we're at. I don't know if this is going to work out or not, guys, but it's so far so good. What's in my head is actually coming out. I was thinking about doing the inner braces as opposed to doing them on the outer end of it. On the outer end of it, as opposed to doing on the inside, as opposed to doing the outside, to strengthen it up against on the chassis. Because, like I said, once I put the chassis underneath it, the chassis is not going to be as wide as I need it to be for the actual box. So you see the chassis is only yay big. As you can see, the chassis is not very big and very long. So I am probably going to have to extend it, probably about half of this length, probably about 4 inches. But then once I do, it should fit pretty good. That would be basically where the back of it would sit. So I got a good 3-4 inches that I have to extend it. And I do need to put some kind of outer braces on the back end of this thing so that, if it is a camper and there is a slide out on it, you want to be able to have a strong frame underneath it. I kind of got this idea from my travel trailer that I have in my front yard, the way they built the frame. It is basically a box with ribs, and the way they build travel trailers these days, it's going to be nothing like if I, took this to a shop and actually used real steel. So I'm hoping this works out. Hopefully in the next few videos, we'll be able to get some siding on it, and then you guys will be able to get a little bit more of a picture. I posted a blue the other day that I'm doing my police car on. I think before I get too far into the cab area, I'm going to go ahead and pop the back of this out and get rid of it, and grind down anything I need to and sand down anything I need to. And then I think I am going to do it that very pretty blue that I have. It's called Skylight Blue or whatever the heck it's called. I forget what the heck the name of it is. But I think I'm going to do it that blue color. My wife seems to like that. Let's see. I did her purple Peterbilt, so she doesn't worry about that. 7 axle. Okay, understood. Like I said, I can't get past 2 axles, Sam. If I get past 2 axles, I'd be impressed. Although I will say that I have some Joe Fritz is being very nice, and he's sending me a bunch of wheel humps. So I'm going to be changing a couple. My International Harvester, my IH 4300, is going to get some wheel humps put on it after I paint them and sand them down and get them all puttied up. But I'll have new wheel humps on that. I'll show you that. He does some great work on wheel humps, man. Like I showed you the other day, I tried to start doing mine, but my hands just shake too much and my cuts aren't very good. Um, I hide a lot more than you guys see sometimes, but that's what a model builder does, does the best he can, and when he's got to do things that aren't quite exactly the way they're supposed to be, um, you figure out other ways to do them. But like I said, this actually came out pretty good. My idea came out pretty good in my head, so I got the idea. Um, I was messing around on TikTok actually, and I belong to the car TikTok, or the truck TikTok, should I say. And I get to see lots of different trucks and stuff like that. So, um, I saw a guy that did something similar to this. It wasn't a Freightliner that he did it on. It was a big nose Pete. I think it was like a 359. I think is what it was. But it was like massive, dude. And he had like slide outs on. He had like dual slide outs on one side, a massive one big slide out on the other side. Um, Half of it was for his ATVs and motorcycles, and he had a car in there. So his was probably this much longer, in reality, if I tried to make it scale. And this whole deck went down, but also he had a door that he could open and close. So if they weren't using the storage area for his motorbikes and stuff like that, they actually have bedding and stuff that they can fold down off the walls and put mattresses on, so they can have. He said it sleeps like 15 people comfortably when the bikes and stuff aren't in there, is what he was saying on TikTok. So I was like very impressed with that. So I kind of got the idea from him, and decided that I have a rebuilder that I got from Sam. That's already got a piece of a camper, which is really what I wanted. Sleeper, which is really what I wanted, because I want to take the out this. I was going to sand all this down. I just kind of put paint on it so I could see where I needed to get it more, and see what the color blue was going to look like over the copper, or the color orange was going to look like over the copper. I kind of like it, but I don't have enough of this orange to do the whole thing. So I'm going to be stripping this completely down, removing this back piece here. I'm going to be sanding down these seams in here to get them out of there, and then putting all that up as one piece. I also painted the window orange here. I have a new one, so I'm not worried about it. It was painted. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I am going to make the cab tilt. I have decided that I am going to put an entire full deck that folds down, and I'm going to give my wife a party deck that will fold down and have legs that come out and stand on the back of the truck, so that she can walk right from the inside of the camper right out to the party deck. That kind of stuff. That's my ideas, anyways. Like I said, I don't know about slide outs, so keep watching, guys, because the more I come up with ideas, the more crap that'll go on this. I'm not done with the bracing of the roof yet. I'd still like to stick a couple of smaller, let me get something that I'm not going to be using for something else. Okay, here we go. I'd like to get a couple more small braces here and there, just to give myself a little bit more support on the ceiling. I'm also going to be doing ribs all the way down the chassis, and I will be doing angled ribs from the chassis up to the bottom of the box to give the bottom of the box the level that it needs and the support it needs. So it's got a long way to go, but I'm here. You lost the feed, Sam? It should be right on Facebook, brother. Hang on, I'll pop out a real quick. Hold on, here it comes. I will go right to the group and drop a link directly to where I'm at. Hang tight, here it comes. Let me open up in a new window. Here we go. Bring her up. It's probably going to show me live. Nope. Okay, let's go right here. Let's go. It's supposed to let me. Oh, here we go. Paste. Paste that. Live stream address. and enter, and I'm going to post it. There we go. Live stream address is in. Here it comes. There we go. Should be able to click on it. Oh, why didn't it let me click on it? Well, you can cut and paste that into your browser, and that should take you right to me, guys. Hope that helps. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, Sam, but... So, alright, so I put a lot... I don't think it's a clickable, though. That's the problem with what I have here at this point. It's not a clickable. Excuse me, clickable. Let's refresh this page and see if it comes out as a clickable. Did not come out as a clickable, guys, but you can cut and paste the address there directly into your browser, and it should take you directly to my live stream. So let's do that. Let's check it out. Copy. Let's go up here to my browser. Let's do it here. Let's right click and let's paste it, and that's it. Enter to go, and it should take me right to my live stream. Live stream solution. Oh, nope. Nope. That didn't work, guys. So don't use that link. It's not gonna work. Okay, I saw you. I saw you. I got you, Sam. I see you. I'm gonna remove that link because it didn't work. I don't know why it's supposed to. It's exactly what they gave to me. Delete that post and delete it. Okay. Okay, there we go. It's gone. All right, I'm back, guys. Get rid of this window, and all right, I'm back here with you. I see you. All right, so this is basically what I'm doing today. I'm gonna try to finish off the box here, kind of. But like I said, I haven't figured out whether I want to use these. And I'm gonna, like I said, all these little stubs and stuff that you see, I'm gonna sand down with my Dremel once I get the box all solid enough on it. I will sand everything down. I'm just not quite so sure if I want to. See, I like the way the bumps are on here because I can put braces on that at that point. These little bumps here, I can put brace ons on. That'll be a good idea. Okay, so I'm just not sure if I get better support by putting the brackets on directly onto the chassis, or if I should support them while they're off the chassis and hang them over the sides of the chassis. I think we're just going to go ahead and do it like this, because that will help me sit it directly onto the chassis, flat, and then I can build around it. That's my idea anyways. Yes, I did see the post of the 5-axle wrecker. Yes, I did see what you were doing. Hey, Keith, glad to see you, buddy. Hey, Jeff. Okay. I see you, Sam. You're going to go with the Western Star Cab. And, Jeff, that was to you. Yeah, buddy, I did see you. Thank you very much for coming in again, Jeff. I appreciate it, brother. Again, what you're looking at here is what we started yesterday and we talked about yesterday. This is going to be a camper. It's not going to be a car hauler like I was planning on it. My wife stepped in and said she wants a camper, so I'm going to build her a camper. I'm more than likely not going to be using this. This was part of my thought for yesterday, is to bring up the camper like so, something of this nature. I don't know if you guys can see that right, but bring it up like so. But instead I've decided that I can alleviate this if I just keep it all like right perfectly level with the top back of the truck. It should be fine. Again, I said I'm going to do dual tanks on both sides. It's going to be dual wheels on the back. Depending on how it starts to turn out, I may actually extend it more and may put a third axle on it. I don't know as of this point. Once the box is made and once I get the box sidings on, and my windows wherever I want them, and the doors where I want them, and get the mechanisms working, then I'll take it out to my spray booth, which is outside my house. But right now we got that tropical storm coming, so that'll be a couple of days before we get major sunshine that I need to get everything heated up. This was spray painted in one day and heated up for 3 hours outside and touchable 3 hours later, and I was able to go handle it and use it. So next build will be up also will be this Ford. I kind of screwed up the paint job, so I sanded it all down. I got to do a little bit more wet sanding on it to get a little bit more of the rough stuff out, and then I'll be repainting it. It pitted. I don't know if you guys can see it on this one or not, but it pitted really bad. It almost looks like somebody sprayed water on it. I think it was just humidity in the air in the can between the time it was sprayed out of the can to the time it hit the model. I think moisture and from the coolness of the spray can and the heat of the outside just kind of put mists of water in it, and it just sprayed it all over the crap. But this is my idea. I don't know if you guys think it's a good or a bad. What do you think? That's one way to use plastic sprues, guys. I can tell you that right now. Oh, and I found out my thumb wasn't so bad. I just took a chunk out of it. It just bled like a stuck pig, which is all my medication based too. I gave my shout outs. YouTube, guys. For you guys that are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, follow. Hit that bell so you know when we're live and you know when we're popping videos out. Again, this is Joe, Plastic Addictions Anonymous, for those of you who don't, for you first timers that are coming in. I've built, if you guys haven't been watching, we've built several kits here live. Go back and check YouTube. If you want to go check YouTube, you can see all the builds and unboxings there. What you see on your screen right now is the only thing you see is Plastic Addictions Anonymous and the AMT logo. For whatever build I'm doing, which like tomorrow, now that I've taken some pictures today of this build, you'll have pictures of what I'm building in the corner. So when you pop in, you know what we're working on. If you missed anything, you'll still kind of be up to what we're doing for the day. I only do about an hour, guys. I try not to bother everybody too much. I appreciate everybody coming in. I know they take the time out of their day. And I appreciate that. I'm getting lucky. Sam's usually sleeping at this time because he works late at night. So I got my buddy here, Sam, coming in and hanging out with me today. I appreciate that. I'm sure he'll pop in every day of the week that he's home because I know he wanted to. And I know he misses coming out and chatting with everybody and hanging out. I also want everybody to go check out, if you're not on the Model Asylum, shout out to the Model Asylum again, my breakfast menu that I popped out yesterday. I got several comments on, which were all good. Everybody liked them, and I edited it, and I did notice a couple of oopses in there, and I did go repair those. I won't be tagging and posting the breakfast every day like I had been. It's just too long and too much work. It'll probably be every 3 or 4 days, or maybe even every Monday for Monday morning breakfast. I'm not quite so sure at this point yet. But I do plan on starting the games back up. There's a list of the games that I'm going to be playing on the Model Asylum, and I'm going to have my admin and my moderators get involved in that as well. Or I need to find other moderators that are willing to help me out with that to be able to be on par when I'm not available to keep games going. If I start a game and something comes up, I need somebody that can keep them going so I don't miss you guys and you guys don't get frustrated because you got to wait 2 hours for an answer on whatever the trivia question was or whatever the model color was or whatever the thing was. So go check the menu out, by the way. Check the breakfast menu out on TMA if you're a part of TMA. And give me some comments and let me know what you guys think about it. I think I went a little over the top, but I enjoyed it. And like I said, if I make one person in the morning laugh before they go to work and they have a great day after that because they were thinking about what I said and then I tagged them in it, that I did my job, guys. So let's get a poll going here. Airbrush on printer decal paper? I don't know about that. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I know guys make their own decals and they clear coat them, so I don't see why it wouldn't be okay to do that. I really don't, because I know printer paper for decals is a different kind of paper, and I know that it holds the ink differently than it does for a regular print. So I'm pretty sure if you clear it and then, I don't know, would you paint it and then clear it? I guess it would be how heavy of a spray that you would put on it, whether it made it wet or not, how wet it made it or whatever, because it is still paper. But it does have a glossy side, so you should be able to. I would say you would be able to, Jeff. I don't see why not. Sam would probably know better than that than me. Sam, can he do airbrushing on printer decal paper? I know somebody you can ask. His name is Terry. He's in our group. He's in the Model Asylum. He's the one that, actually, he's in Plastic Addictions. He's the one that created our logo. He does graphic designs and decals. I'll hit him up and I can ask that question and give you that answer at another time, Jeff. I'll PM you and let you know about that. I'll look him up on the Model Asylum. Okay, Sam says yes. So that's a great thing. See, got your answer. But you have to clear coat it afterwards for sure, right, Sam? No matter what, you have to clear coat it in order for it to be pliable as one sticker, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, as opposed to the entire sheet, because then you can cut it out and it'll just be one sticker. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go with the inside chassis area, so I need to sand these down real quick, peel some of this stuff off. So let me get my knife here, and I'm just going to lean back here, guys, and do a little bit of... Don't break it, Joseph. Okay, that's my problem. I need my Dremel. Alright, so I'm going to have to get my Dremel out for this. Because I'm going to have to sand this down. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I would recommend you clear coat it exactly, yeah. I don't even have a printer, guys, so I don't know. If I see a decal that I like and I really need to have it, and my buddy Sam doesn't have it, or one of my members doesn't have it or something, I'm sure we can find out, more answers to that. I did see, I was looking through YouTube for some airbrushing tips. I did see a guy on YouTube. Do a search, Jeff, on YouTube for airbrushing techniques with airbrushing techniques on paper, I think is what I did. Because I was thinking on doing a logo for the side of one of my panel trucks, a Pepsi logo, and that's when I did that search. And then I ended up talking to the Pepsi guy, and he gave me a whole bunch of logos from my local store. I'm just popping these little pins and stuff off, guys, so I can sand them down and get them ready to be used. I'm just using sprue, like I said. I do have some round sprue. I do have square sprue. I do have found all my pieces that I'm going to use for my chassis. So right now I'm just kind of like trying to clean stuff up. The easiest way is going to be doing this, I'm sure, is going to be trying to get my Dremel out once I get all this ready. I have a tropical storm coming, guys, so if I do not get on tomorrow, I will more than likely 99% be okay. It won't be a big deal. It's just a tropical storm. Our electrical is underground, but I do know the substation down at the end of the street they've been working on rapidly for the past month. I talked to them, and it sometimes it gets water in it, and that causes my power to fluctuate because it gets in there and disrupts the signal, so to speak, and then it pops right back on. It doesn't even turn any of my equipment off. It just browns out my lights, or it just kind of dims out my lights real quick, and then it comes back on. So if I'm not on tomorrow, just be aware as soon as I can, I will be coming right back on, letting everybody know I'm still alive out here. It's just a tropical storm. We've seen a lot worse. I was talking with somebody the other day, I forget who it was, that about Andrew. I owned a landscape company at the time that Andrew came through. My oldest was just a kid, young kid then, and we lost power, I think it was, for like 18 days here. So instead of just sitting around and being hot and complaining and moaning and groaning about the heat, we loaded up my truck. I took my cousin and one of my crew members and my wife and my cousin's wife at the time and my son, and we jumped in at the time I had a big dually. We took it down to Miami, and I did some recovery work for the I don't know, I guess you would it wasn't really for FEMA, and it really wasn't for the Red Cross. It was more for the state and the government, more the government than anything, because I had to go through a military barracks to get a military code because they had checkpoints from as soon as you came into Dade County and you left the Broward County line, they had checkpoints like every 5 miles or every 2 miles or whatever, that you had to go through, and there was guards at the gate. There was gated guards because Miami was decimated. We've seen a lot worse. It's just going to be a lot of weather and a lot of wind. Luckily, I did the seals on my trailer in the past month, so that's all sealed up. Also, update on Mr. Paul, 12 days and he will be here. We will be doing live shows together in the mornings. It may not be exactly, because he's on vacation, I'm not going to make the man jump up and be up every day of the week. We're also going to go to the beach for a couple of days. We're also going to be doing, or for a couple hours, we're also going to be doing the build-off. I don't know how much of a build-off it is, more of a build-together than a build-off, I guess. But we are going to have you guys vote on it. To me, contest or contest, I'm not in it to prove anything to anybody. Paul and I are just doing it for fun, really. Just to get you guys involved and interested in stuff that we do on the show. Alright, so I have these pretty much where I can use my Dremel on them later once I get them all glued in. So you guys need to help me out here. Do you think it would be better to support it on the outs. No, I think it would be better to support it on the outside, right, directly on top of the chassis, right? That would give it more strength. So if I put the braces in here, as opposed to on the outside, you guys can see that, right? So as opposed to the outside, I think I'm going to do them on the inside. I think that would be good. Hey, anytime, Jeff. I was hoping to help you out a little bit, bro. Okay, I get that. Okay, I get that. I get that, Sam. So regular paper would more than likely absorb it, and something with like a clear coating on it for like a decal sheet would let it set more on the top. Yeah, chassis for supporting anything. Okay, thanks, Sam. That's what I thought. So it would be better for inside here. So that's what I thought too. That's the way I actually have some pictures I'm going to post out later on of me going through all my parts and stuff and trying to find all these sprues. You guys saw me yesterday. We were going through it yesterday. So yeah, I think that's about where I'm going with it. I do have everything pretty much cut where I want it, cut the way I want it. Um, any adjustments and stuff like that, I'll do once I start getting the box on. Once I get the box on, then I can do my putting and sanding, and it'll look a lot different then. So that's where we're at. But as you can see, I'm definitely going to have to extend the chassis about 4 inches because that's really where the cab's going to sit. Something like that. Something of that nature is where the chassis is going to sit. So really, I have. Oh goodness gracious! I've got that looks like a good 3 inches, 3.5 inches that I'm going to have to extend it. Oh, I was right, 4 inches. So I'm going to have to extend it 4 inches to get a nice step and bumper back here so that I can put my decking back here, my open door decking back here. So that's a good idea. All right, so got another question for you guys. What do you guys use when you guys build stuff like this? Let's say you guys are building, let's say you guys are putting these two pieces of together, okay? What do you use underneath so that the glue doesn't stick to it? I mean, I have super glue, but when I tried it the other day and I tried to super glue it, the damn super glue stuck to everything and everything got stuck. I know they tell me, you can lift it up and hold it and everything, but in order to get something glued and, you really need to let it sit flat and make sure that it's, nice and level. So I'd like to have it something of that nature and just be able to put glue spots here, put my braces in, put glue, a little bit of glue on those spots and let it just sit right there. But when I did that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a big, huge spot of glue over here. I sat it over here last night after I started this. I stuck it upside down. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I stuck it upside down, and this whole cross member here, this whole stupid cross member here stuck to my counter. Is there a paper or something? Tamiya thin set? I use, Plastiputty when I'm ready to do that. And I'm using super glue from the dollar store, which actually has been really good to me. You get 2 of these containers for $1. It's 50 cents a piece. They last pretty long. Fowler's Super Glue Expert Glue. Is that expensive stuff, Sam, or is that cheap? I'm a cheap guy, you know me, man. I don't work. I try not to have my wife spend extra money, and she still does anyways. She ordered me the 40s coupe and 2 cans of paint and my headset for my YouTube, and no use Tamiya thin set. Okay, Tamiya thin set. Okay, so I got to get some Tamiya thin set. I'll have to look that up on Amazon. So, but that's my idea. Um, so we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and glue the braces into place here. Um, Again, I shout out to everybody. I appreciate everybody coming in. Jeff, Dave, Sam, I appreciate all you guys, man. I really do. I appreciate you jumping in and saying hi. I know you guys work and you guys have lives that you do. Hey, shout out to Dave Mopar Winner. I appreciate him coming in too. I appreciate all you guys. Um, okay, I'll have to try it. I'll have to look it up. I should be able to get it on Amazon, right? You know me. I don't go out and I'm not a people person, so I don't go out in public. I don't have a whole lot to talk about to people. And with you guys, I can talk about models. I can talk about just about anything. You guys are, my friends, and you know me, and I've got some health problems, and I'm retired and disabled, so I don't get out with people anymore because I don't have a lot to talk to them about. Most guys when they go to a party, they talk about what they did for their day, for their job, and stuff like that. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I take care of my kids. I take care of my house. I do everything I can. So when my wife gets home, she works her ass off for us and supports us. So, and I've tried that. I've tried just about everything I can to bring money into the house. It's a little harder than most people might think for a guy that's takes as much meds as I do and has the injury that I do to actually keep it. I mean, I can get any job. I can get any driving job out there known to man. Hell, guys, I could drive a freaking. I could, I could pilot a boat. It doesn't matter. I've operated cranes. I've done forklifts. I've done front end loaders. I've driven a rig. I've driven a tow truck. I've driven a flatbed. I've driven panel trucks. I've driven and done everything. But the biggest problem is, when I can get the job, I just can't keep it because eventually my body breaks down and tells me, okay, you need a week's rest. And a lot of employers don't get that. That it's nothing I can do about it. I bust my ass. I did do. For the last time I worked, it was 3 years of 24/7 towing, and that almost killed me. It took me 4 months. To recover from the toll on my body that it took and the damage that my body had already had was just compounded. And my wife and I decided when my 12-year-old was born that it wasn't worth it anymore. I was doing more damage to my body than I was helping her out, because not only then would I come home and feel like I was going to die, I literally had to die for a week, and then I couldn't get anything done. Nothing got done. So we decided that it would be better off for the both of us. We have the same goals in life. We want to retire in Northwest Tennessee somewhere. She wants to be able to. She's been a paralegal for 30 years. She wants to retire from paralegaling and do like a secretary's job that we don't need lots of money. We'd like to be able to pay our land off, have a house that I can work on while we're living in the trailer or while we're living in the house, and that's it. We're done. We're not moving anymore. That is where we will be buried. Whatever state we end up in, that's where we will be buried and done with. I won't be coming back to Florida other than a visit to family members. If there's any left here, my oldest, I don't know if he's coming with us. My sister, I don't know if she's coming with. Those are the only ones down here really that I associate with. I talk to my mother once in a blue moon. I know that's bad of me. She just gets too upset every time I mention that we're leaving, so I try to not mention that to her. We do talk. I do. She doesn't get to the phone real well because she doesn't walk real well. So I leave her messages and she calls me back and stuff. But I don't get along with my brothers. My sister's the only one I get along with. My dad died, so we're kind of like on our own, so to speak. Her dad died. Her stepmother moved to a retirement place. She doesn't get out well. She's getting older. So really, and her brother moved out to, I think, Colorado or somewhere, to become a weed farmer. Which, from what we understand, he's making some killing on some bucks, bros. Him and a buddy of his evidently bought a bunch of land and started weed farming. From what I understand, they're doing pretty dang good at it. So, alright, so let's get these two bottom braces, and that's enough of BSing. Again, shout out to Facebook, shout out to the Model Asylum, shout out to Plastic Addictions, all my peeps. I appreciate everybody coming in. You guys are great for coming and hanging with me for an hour. I do more talking when you guys are around than I do building, because I like talking to you guys. I don't get that very often. I try my best to keep to myself. I do get a little crazy on my groups just for the fun of it. Also, again, I had somebody PM me about the breakfast the day I put it out there, and they hadn't read it all the way down, and they were kind of annoyed that I was, how did they put it? I was word playing on an addiction situation. Guys, seriously? Okay, the only thing I could tell that person was scroll on, don't go to it, or you can leave the group. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what else to do. At the bottom of my breakfast, there's a specific funny legal jargon, but it's meant to be real. You don't like it, scroll on. You don't want to read it, scroll on. You don't want to see it, scroll on. I mean, I have guys that think it's funny. I think it's funny. And I do it for the funny. And we mean no disrespect to anybody. Addiction is not a joke. And coming from a guy who's been there and done that, it's not a joke. But I make a play for, a lot of people would tell you that plastic model building is not an addiction. But I got news for you. Have you ever seen a 40-year-old grown man stand in a hobby store and cry because his wife said we don't have the $40 to get a model? It's an addiction, guys. Or you put a bid in on a auction for a model and somebody beats you out by $1, and you end up going, damn, I really wanted that kid. That's an addiction, guys. Um, but I play on the words, guys. It's all it is. It's just a play on words. And if you guys enjoy it, and like I always say, if at any time I can make one of my members that weren't smiling smile, or they were getting up dreading going to work and it made them laugh before they went to work, I did my job. So until I get 500 members telling me that my breakfast menu is against God's law, that's what he said. God's law. Okay, I shouldn't be making funny of an addiction that someone has because I'm going against God's law and loving my human friends or loving my human family, my human whatever. Um, it's it's almost hard, guys, to keep a smiley face when someone tells you that you're breaking God's law. And both my parents were ministers when I was a kid, so he's kind of barking up the wrong tree because sarcasm is what I run a lot of my funny stuff on. Sarcasm. It's all fun and games. It's all about the fun of the build to us. So if you don't like it, scroll on. But please, if you went and read it and you got all the way through it, you know what to do. Comment for me. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you think I need to add something. I'm trying my best to get it as close as possible. I stopped posting the medications, as you noticed on my menu. I stopped posting the buildings of the asylums that I had found. I stopped posting patients of asylums that I had found, because that's what I used to post my menu breakfast every morning. I'd post a building asylum, I'd post medication pictures, and I'd post some kind of a patient in an asylum either trying to escape or taking his meds. Or I even did that one flew over the cuckoo's nest with, what the heck is his name? Jack Nicholson. I thought that was a freaking hilarious movie, man, and that was a play on insanity. So I think if you guys like it, like I said, if I make one person happy and smile before they go to work, I know you guys, I know everybody that I talk to reads it, and everybody I talk to think it's funny, but we do have a couple of people out there that are just a little too butthurt about a couple of words that are in it. Now, I will admit, if you go look at the medication list that I have listed this time, I played on words again, guys. Those are real medications that they came out with in 2020 and 2021 to treat addictions. I just worded them differently. I spelled them differently. I added stuff to them. I'm addicted, Jeff. I agree with you fully, brother. It's an addiction to plastic no matter what. And if we as people who are addicted to this hobby, amen, Sam. Amen, Sam. I agree with you fully, buddy. I do. I do the same thing. And again, that's another thing. I want to touch on that also. Just jump off subject from the I was talking about the asylum stuff. If you go to an auction knowing you have 2 cents in your pocket and you bid on a $20 model, you deserve to go on a bad traders list. I'm sorry. You should have known better. Yes, it's an addiction, but you got 2 pennies in your pocket and you go bid on a $20 model knowing you cannot pay that model in the next 3 days. Don't bid. I go to the auctions, just sit and watch the comments and watch these guys battle it out over $1. It's funny as heck. Somebody says $12, somebody else says 13, somebody else says 14, and it goes up to, a $20 model can go up to 50 freaking bucks that way. It's crazy. Oh, no, 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 no. You have no, I have full cassette, that sounds funny, but I have full cassettes of Jeff Foxworthy's comedy shows. I have videos of his comedy shows on VHS, nothing on DVD. I am a big Jeff Foxworthy fan. Big time. I'm also Larry the Cable Guy's my man. I love it. Get her done. You guys will notice a lot of times I use the word iffin and get her. Those all came from Larry the Cable Guy, just so you guys know I stole those from him. It's just a play on words, and if you can't laugh at something that's a shame, you're never going to get over it being, a mental block for you. Get her done. There you go. There you go, Sam. But that's what I'm saying. I try my best to make it as fun as possible. I've seen all the groups where they sell stuff and they link stuff and they show pictures of this, that, and the other. And, this one is bickering over that one and this one says this or that one. I don't tolerate that crap on my group. I want it to be fun. This is fun to me, sitting here talking to you guys while I'm building and playing. I get more less building done when I'm talking to you. I noticed that, and somebody else. Who else? Somebody else said that to me the other day. Oh, Rob. Rob said that to me. You know, you're talking more than you're building. So I got to learn to not do that. But I get you guys around, and I like hanging out with you and talking to you. Oh man, see, I just slobbered glue everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna drop a couple of small drops of glue here. Actually, not small ones. I'm also using kind of glue and putty for fillers all the way around the chassis of the frame, just so you guys know what I'm done. Once this is all done and said, it should be pretty solid. I also thought about using decal. Would this work? I was wondering. I have this Lumitape. I have this Lumitape. Would that work to prevent the glue from sticking, or the glue will probably stick to the Lumitape too? I was thinking about doing that, putting it like right under there and just gluing it all on it. I also thought about putting a strip on my cutting table and just being able to glue on that. That's what this is really for, because I can scratch the glue right off. As you see, I can just, that's normally what I do here, is I just sit it here and then I let the glue set up and then I move it. At work I'm not for two things. I'm constantly wanting to ride the conveyor belt and wanting to shove freight off the dock and saying, the heck with it. Gotcha, brother. And like I said, if you can come home at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning and go to one of our groups and chuckle for 2 seconds while you're getting yourself back together, and it makes you get a little bit more down and mellow and more happy, I'm all for it, bro. Yeah, I can sand it off. I got you. Hey, hold on 1 second. I got my mechanic here on the line. Hey, Stefan, what's happening, brother? What? Yeah. Okay. What do we owe you, brother? Are you sure, man? That's it, dude. You had to do the work. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Can it sit there for a while till my kid gets up? All right, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it so much, Stefan. I knew you'd figure it out. All right, man. I'll check you out later. All right. Bye. Well, there you go, guys. Talk about a mechanic that's right up in your alley. That repair on my son's car took 2 hours or an hour and a half, and I owe the man $5 for a bushing. He's not charging me for the labor. He's done that to my wife's car. He's literally taken my wife's car to his shop, opened up the hood, stripped it down for 3-4 hours, tracking down what the problem is, went out to, because he knows that we don't have a lot of money, went out to a you-pull-it place himself, pulled the part, brought it back to his shop, put the part on, and charged me just for the part, never charged me for any labor. So my son has a nice fixed car for $5, and all he owes is $5. So we're gonna. It's amazing. Some people are just sent to you by God to help you through life, and he's one of the. So I got to give him a shout out, guys. If you guys are anywhere near Broward County and you guys need a car repair, go to STP Motorsports. He's a mechanic. He also runs race car sets. He also has a tow truck. His name is Stefan. The man is the most amazing guy you will ever meet. He's friendly. He's polite. He's family oriented. He knows people struggle daily, and he does everything he can not to break your backbone when you have to have a repair. I guarantee you, if you have 100 of his 100 of his customers in a building, in a room, I guarantee you at least every 100 would say that he did them one time, at least minimum, that he charged them nothing for the repair. I bet you money. I bet $100 on that. That put 100 people of his customers in the same room, ask them all if they have ever had him repair a car for nothing, and I bet you everybody would say yes at least once. So the man is amazing. So I got him a shout out. I'm also gonna get. He's also got some decals he wants me to have. So I'm gonna be putting some shots up on the group for him. I told him I would, just like I just did with Dave for his thing. I don't mind doing that, guys, on live feeds. If you guys need a shout out for your business and you want me to give me a shout out, send me the information. I'll shout it out to you. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging with me. That's that's my gift back to you. It's all I can give back to you, other than my pretty face and my energetic conversations. Even though most of the time they're medicated conversations, but that's about as amazing as you can get for a day. That made my entire day. I thought it was going to be $100 because I know that it was, and it was exactly what I said it was. It was the rubber bushing on the brake switch that's on the brake pedal. That's what he had to replace. So he had to crawl underneath my son's hood, hook up the battery, check all the stuff underneath there and wiring underneath there. Then he went underneath the car, I'm sure, and checked the brakes. I'm sure he put it up on the lift, pulled the brakes out, checked them because the brake light was staying on even after I unplugged the battery for 4 days and then plugged it back in. The brake lights would still be coming on. I agree with you, brother. It is too short. You know what I mean? And I don't. You know, I know people have rough days, and I know people have crap days, and I know that people they have a tendency to portray their day when they get off of work. And I understand that. Been there, done that, guys. So, like I said, if I can make you guys come spend 1 hour hanging out with me and talking with me and get a little bit of a chuckle for your day, and then you go back to your work, you go back to your wife, you go back and fight, whatever. You got one chuckle for the day at least out of me, and I'm happy about that. That's what these groups are all about, was the fun. And don't get me wrong when I say this, but I created these groups not only for me, but I created these groups for you guys, and you guys have taught me, humility, peace, a whole crapload of model stuff that I can't even number or name the things that I've learned from through you watching you guys and talking to you guys. And you get me out. I'm actually out there with you guys. Like when Sam comes home at work, he explains how his day went and what his day was like and what he saw and what he did. And I feel like I'm actually part of his day and his recovery for that night from the idiots that he had to deal with. He comes and talks to me and we chat. Paul Lovelace does the same thing. Rob does it. Don does it. Jeff does it. I mean, we all talk and, we have a little bit of a fun, even if it's only for an hour, it's at least, it gives you a chuckle before you got to go deal with the idiots that are all out there. And at least once a day you're going to have to deal with some idiot and you're going to want to smack the living crap out of him and, smack him back the next week or whatever. And you can step back and go, you know what? I laughed this morning. I can laugh this off too. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make everybody, a little bit more friendly. And you guys, like I said, you guys get me out and get me something to talk to. I know I'm a chatterbox, but I don't get out much. So, also shout out to my TikTokers that I have 2 guys here now. I forget their names that recently joined the group in the past couple of months. That saw the build that I did that I was doing. What was the last build that I did before? Okay, Sam, you would know. What was the last build that I did before I did the cement mixer? That would have been what? That would have been the car carrier. So he saw the videos on YouTube and messaged me on TikTok and PM'd me while I was doing a TikTok thing and asked me for the address for the PAA group, and I gave it to him, and he said that he hadn't done models in 30 years, and watching and seeing all the videos that I was doing and listening to me just chatter and talk. Right, yeah, yep. That's what I was saying. Yep, it was the car carrier trailer. Yep. That was the last. I think that's the video that made him realize, because and I talked all through that too and did stuff. Um, so I think that that's one of the things that made him roll in. You could take a piece of glass, then take your knife blade to release it. Huh? What I missed, Jeff? Oh, you're right. Oh, Jeff, I got you now. Oh my God, right over the head. You're right. I could get a small piece of glass and use that, I do have a flat blade I could use to release it off the glass. You're right, Jeff. Good idea, man. Excellent idea. The only worry that I have is, I cut myself just trying to trim ribs, bro. Yeah. I just realized he was. Thank you, Sam. And bummer, man. Man, I thought for sure you'd be building that thing up and showing me. I should have made you do a build off with me on that thing, Sam, man. You bought me one and you bought you one, and I'm still thanking you for it. I do appreciate it. And believe me, Jeff, I know you don't know. Sam sent me a Revell car carrier when it came out in April. It was one of my holy grail kits that I've always wanted. Even since I was a kid, I wanted to build one. I only have 2 grail kits in my entire mind that I've always loved. One of them was the car carrier, and another one is a 57 Chevy Nomad. Someday, somebody is going to drop off an old beat up 57 Nomad on a trailer, and I'm just gonna go into tears. I saw one at I forget what it was, a Shoney's or something. We were out traveling and it was on the back of a trailer, and I got freaking emotional over seeing the freaking thing. It had been the first one I had seen since I was a kid, that close up. My dad came in with one on the back of a tow truck one time. Smashed the crap, man. Looked like the guy must have rolled it down over a freaking on ramp of a I-95 on ramp. But it was a '57 Chevy Nomad, and the engine was all thrashed and tore all apart. The intake and everything that was sticking out of the hood was laying in the back of the bed, in the back of the car. The windshield was all crashed up. The hood and roof was all mangled and crashed up where he rolled it. But I fell in love with that car at that time. I did fall in love with that. That's when I fell in love with that car. And then the guy came and picked it up. I think about 2 years later, it must have been. He brought it back to the shop, and I was working for my dad at the time. I was doing what we call lot shifting, where you move cars around because you got pickups coming in and they're blocked in from the night before from towing. Um, so I was doing some lot shifting, and I heard just out of the background a badass car coming around the corner, and I stopped my truck. I shut my truck down. Um, I went to the fence, and here comes this guy in this gorgeous candy apple red with, I guess he said it was had some pearl white in it. The interior was all redone. The everything was so gorgeous, and it was like the most beautiful car I'd ever seen in all my life. Pretty much. Shake 'em till you got it. But that's when I literally have to say that's probably when I fell in love with the car. Um, I did have the chance to get my hands on one when I was a teenager. Um, I couldn't afford it at the time, and my dad wouldn't buy it for me because I was drinking way too much at 18, 17, 18, and my dad just wouldn't do it. Which I don't blame him. I'd have killed my freaking self. Um, I stopped drinking. I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in, oh my God, Matt, what, 25 years? 20 years? 20 years at least. And I don't have a taste for it. And I can't even smell it these days. I don't even like to smell these. All right, so there's that one, guys, kind of. So that's kind of my. It almost looks like a freaking picnic table. It almost does. All right, so that's my idea. I am still going to, like I said, I'm still going to put braces in here. But if anybody does see a Rebuilder 57 Nomad and the guy's not asking an arm and leg for it, hey, do me a favor, take a picture of it and shoot it my way. Hell, I might even sell everything I own to go grab that sucker. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Someday, hopefully you guys will still be around and I'll still be doing models. Someday I will get my '57 Chevy. Someone will, somewhere, somehow, I will end up getting, and I'm not talking model. I mean, even a model would be nice, but I'm not talking model. I'm talking the real one. And hopefully you guys will be along for the build and be able to watch me, because that's what I'd really like to do, because that's something I could take my time at. If it was mine and sat on a trailer or in a garage, and I was working on it and I didn't feel good, all of a sudden I could go lay down. That's my biggest problem with work nowadays. When I get overheated, my throat swells up. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to swallow. My voice changes because the scar tissue inside my neck is putting pressure on my vocal cords and on my windpipe, and my throat. So those things. So when I'm tired, it really shows now. My body is literally telling me in more ways than one. Normally, it used to be I used to just get headaches, and my hands would shake extremely hard and extremely a lot. Um, okay, would you get? Did you get the Volvo hood, the hood to fit? Did, or did you just change out the radiator, Sam? All right, Keith, who's that to, brother? Is that Sam or me, brother, that you saw the build? Or are you talking about the trailer? And I took another hunk out of my skin, guys, man. Believe that crap? Ah, you're going to refab the nose. Ah, see, again, we're model builders, guys. It's plastic, man. We can do anything we want to it. You know? Anything is possible when it comes to plastic these days, brother. I mean, anything. It's not like when we were kids, where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have all these all these guys that we could go back and say, hey, how did you do this? Or go back and look at a video because that wasn't around. What you made is what you got. And Mr. Rothrob just sent me some videos through Messenger. Let's see what he's got for us, guys. All right, Rothrob is going to be the gentleman that just sent it in to me. So I'm running Messenger and I'm running Facebook at the same time. Oh, man, I'm not going to share this, you guys, but he's got his son, Jake. No, not Jake, I think is his name. He's 11 years old, and the kid's an outstanding airbrusher. He does all these characters, and the kid's outstanding at 10. I must say Rob is definitely keeping the youngster into the builds because his kid is definitely great. I've seen some of his wife's stuff too. His wife does excellent paintings. Rob does great graphics. I think he's a graphics effects artist. So there's basically the box, guys. What do you think? Once I glue it to the chassis, again, I'm going to pop everything off the chassis as best I can. And if I break the chassis, I really don't care. As long as I don't break the front and rear springs, I really don't care because I'll build the damn chassis myself. But I want to take everything off it. Boy, man, what the heck did you use? Super glue on this thing, brother? I can usually pop this shit off pretty easy. I get my needle nose out here, pop it right off at the right spot so it doesn't break everything. There we go. Alright, now we're cruising. Okay, so basically, like I said, this is my idea here. Is basically sitting this. I mean, it's right now. I got to get it set, but sitting this right on top of that should give me my level to the cab, and then I'm going to use pieces of sprue, and these. I'm going to use these for the chassis to strengthen the chassis up. These are something I found in a bulk pile. They were in a bag with a bunch of wiring, so I'm assuming they're used for for hiding wires, but they came in two pieces, which I didn't realize at first. So, by the way, Sam, this is a really good thing for you to hide your lights in, dude, on anything you're building. If you want me to send you a few, I've got a bunch I can send you, brother. Oh, brandy wine metallic sounds beautiful. Wow, dude. 57. The very first fast car I owned, very first fast car I ever drove, was a 1968 Ford Torino Fastback. It had a 427 Cobra in it. My dad, when he was doing the tow truck business, the rescue recovery business, he had it built at his garage where they were building all his trucks and doing all his trucks and stuff. And I swear I can remember as a kid, every time he got that damn thing out of the shop, I swear he didn't get it halfway down the block, and he blew out a front end because every time he dropped the clutch, the front end would come off the ground and slam down and crack the front end of the chassis and bust up the radiator and the fenders and the wheel wells. So eventually we had to put tractor weights on them. So they torched down some tractor weights. I remember them doing that, torched down some tractor weights, and then they welded them to the inner frame walls to keep the front end down on the car. I can remember that thing doing wheelies every time he put it out on the road, and that ba-dum, 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 and the wheel spinning and pushing the car forward. It was so badass. I mean, it was like the baddest car I've ever seen in my life, and I know that we had that sucker out on 27 here out west, and I know we did. I was 15 and sitting in the passenger seat, and he had the speedometer specially made. Back then they didn't have all this, torque converter, not torque converters. What do they call it when they make your car not go so fast? Inhibitors. I'm sure we did 150, dudes. I'm sure we were doing 150, and I know that he still had more gas pedal. He used to use it as a block car when we had to do rescue recovery. He had it all decked out with red and white stripes like his trucks, and he had the emergency lights, floodlights, everything all triggered, all of his blinkers, all of his headlights and stuff used to flash like the new cars do these days, the police cars. And he'd be heading for, if we were out on a big job and a bad wreck came in, he would radio us to, if there was a four-man crew, he'd radio us to half the crew to jump in their trucks and meet him out at the site. But he would be
on site before we were, so he would be ready for us when we got there, knowing exactly how we had to set up and where we needed to position each truck before we ever got there. And then we just looked for him, and he would point us out where we needed to be. And we usually cleared a road depending on the accident. We could usually clear a road in probably about an hour, depending on the accident. We were in and out in about an hour. That was the highlights of my life when I was a kid. Riding with my dad, learning how to drive a tow truck. I took my driver's license on a Ford 450 tow truck. It had a Century uh, boom on the back. He taught me how to use the dollies. He taught me how to do rollovers. Then I turned into a diver. I was diving with him. We did water rescue recovery. So I did that with him. I started out as a shore hand. Then I ended up what we call knee deep hand, and then I ended up being total submerged with him. But it's like a stage that we go through. You got to be able to do the back of the truck while somebody else is in the water safely, so you know what to expect. Each other. Then you have to do what we used to call an ankle deeper, which means you're only ankle deep in the water, but yeah, you're guiding the chain for the guy in the water. Then we did what we call a waist deeper, which is the guy that got a little closer so that we could hear and see the guy underwater if possible. And then we have what we call a submerged diver, which means the ones that go underneath the water and actually hook the cars up underwater. So I went through all those stages. We also went through several fire department courses together as a kid. Oh, the car carrier. Yeah, I did a good job. It came out nice. I had a couple of issues with it. The car carrier. I didn't like how they made you build the upper and lower decks and then flip it over and add all the hydraulic lines. To me, it'd have been a lot easier if, the engineer, so to speak, uh, drilled holes in the chassis rails to run the hydraulic lines while you were working on the chassis. Then you would only have to hook up the T-trees. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, flipping it over and hooking up 6 T-trees for hydraulic lines and then running all the hydraulic lines out to the sides of the truck, to me, was twice the work. So, well, guys, I've chatted your ears off enough. I hope I didn't run you guys off from all the chattering, but I do like chattering with you guys and hanging out with you guys. I have the base chassis ready to roll. I need to put something weighted on that because that's popping up a little bit in the middle. Where do I have my? Where's my? Oh, there. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure this is tight. Also, just so you know, guys, I saw this on Hobby Lobby and I bought it. I also saw it on Amazon. Just so everybody knows, this stuff right here, this tester's thinner that you buy on Amazon for $8. They also want Amazon doesn't do Prime on this stuff. It's shipped directly from the company that sells it. They want $8 shipping, so you're talking $16 for a bottle of thinner, guys. I paid $3.99. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I paid $3.99, and it's a quarter mile away from me. That's craziness. You guys just got to watch and shop around for what you got to do. Again, keep an eye out for the builds coming up. I'm going to throw them on a splash real quick. I still have an unboxing of this to do. Let me shut this light off so it doesn't shine on you. Okay, there we go. I still have this as an unboxing to do. I'm going to run them by real quick. I have this to build yet. I tried to do this not for you guys. I know you guys have seen it. Another unboxing I still have to do. Also a build on videos on that. Okay, we did an unboxing on this already. Jeff, I think you're the one that wanted to see this one. I did an unboxing on that. That's on the YouTube if you want to go check that out, brother. Also, I have this, my 4th out of the 6 mailbox chopper. I have that to build for build videos. And as you know, I'm already working on the Lightning. This one here, I'm actually working on now. We're doing the scratch build before I get back into that because the Ford annoyed me when I painted it and messed it all up. Also from Rob Shugru is sending me a bulldozer. That will also be an unboxing and a vid. Also, I have the 1940s coupe from AMT coming. I'll be doing an unboxing on that. Also, sometime between now and December, guys, keep an eye out. I will be getting a 40s Woody as well as a 40s sedan to take to the show. Shout out to the show. I would like to do that again. Just so anybody that comes in. The show is in Tampa. I know you guys have seen this, but I am going to shout it out again because I told Mr. Mike I would shout it out. Again, if you guys something you want me to shout out, you guys got a YouTube channel you want me to shout out, I'll be glad to do so. I don't mind it at all. You guys come hang out with me. I know you guys do your own things too. Okay, so here we go for the show. I have contest registration forms on the Plastic Addictions Anonymous and the Model Asylum. If you guys can't find these forms or the way it looks like this here, and this is the form here, if you can't find them on the groups, please let me know. And if you're going to go or you're going to enter, I will. I'll mail these right to you or screenshot them right to you. It's the excuse me, the Southeast Street Rod Nationals. It's going to be Tampa, Florida. Where it is going to be NSRAC Street Rods Nationals. Event parking is $8. I do know it's in Tampa. I think it's at the Tampa Motorium, the Motor Speedway or whatever it's called. Entry fees are $7 from 1 to 100 models. Again, this is just a shout out and a thank you to Mike for thinking of me and inviting me to the show and inviting me to enter the contest. It will be my birthday weekend, so I will be going. My wife and I have already made plans to do so. We're not sure yet if I'm taking my trailer, which I hope we do, because that means we can have a little bit longer of a weekend. We don't have to spend as much on a hotel. But we'll be leaving here on the 3rd, which is Friday. The car show is Saturday, and I think the model show is Sunday, or the model contest is Sunday. That's December 3rd. That's December 4th and 5th for the show. December 3rd is my birthday. That's the day we'll be traveling and going there. Also, from what I understand, there is one coming up in Orlando. I haven't got the info on that yet. I will drop that info out as I get it. So I will have to definitely talk to Lee and tell him I did see Jake. I lost everybody. Oh, there we go, guys. I'm sorry. All right, let me get everybody back up in here. All right, I'm back up in here, guys. We used to race behind a. Funny you should say that there was a runway on the. We used to race on a runway over here off of State Road 84, behind a place we called the Airport Drive-In, because every time you went to watch a movie, the airplanes would fly right overhead. You can almost look up and spit to the bottom of the airplanes. 190. That's a hell of a speed, bro. That's a hell of a speed. I know. We couldn't have been doing less than 150, man, when my dad was driving. I only got to drive that car probably 3 times, and in those 3 times, I promised my dad that I wouldn't. Dad, I'm sorry, rest in peace. Race it, but I did. I blew some doorways off. Some pretty big cars, pretty badass cars. We blew some doors off on that with that thing. It didn't look until you heard it or saw it run. You'd never expect it to be that fast. Okay, $3.99, Sam. Right? It was cheap. That's what I'm saying. It's cheaper. I ordered 2 times ago. I ordered it from Amazon, and it didn't dawn on me that I'm paying $16 for it, because they wanted $8 for the bottle and $8 for shipping. That was crazy. So, guys, I'm gonna cut out. I appreciate y'all. Love to you, Jeff, Keith, Samuel Stokes. I know Dave Mopar Winter was in here for a while. I appreciate you too, brother. Let me go ahead and give one more shout out to anybody that's in Ohio. For Jeff here. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Dave. I'm sorry. So if you guys are in Mount Sterling, Ohio, anywhere in that area, and you guys need a mechanic or a detail, go to Lad's Body Shop. That would be Dave, Mopar Dave's last name. He owns it. His wife is Lisa. She takes care of the detailing. Also, it's a family-run business. His daughter, his wife, his son, and himself, they all work at the business. They're family-oriented, and they're really nice guys. Dave's a really cool guy. So I'll give a shout-out to him. Please feel free to go check him out and say hey. Tell him Joe sent you saw him here. But I'm going to pop out here, guys. I'm sure my youngest... Okay, Sam, I will. I'll hit you up. Give me a few minutes to see if my the youngest is up and try to get him some food. And I will do so. I'll yell at you in a little bit. Oh, I didn't even realize you were here. I'm sorry. Good morning. He is up, so I'm going to try to get him himself together, get everything together. Love everybody. This is for you YouTube guys. like, subscribe, share, follow. Hit that bell. Make sure you guys get notifications of when we're doing live stuff or when I'm popping out unboxings or builds. Hope everybody has an amazing day. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me for an hour and chatting. I'll be back on in the morning. If God willing, the storm doesn't knock our power out and I have a problem, no matter what, I can probably pop in at least for a little while on my phone. But I'll let everybody know and I'll give everybody a yell out as soon as the storm's passing through. Sometime late this afternoon through tonight and into tomorrow is when the worst weather's supposed to be. So I'll probably be up pretty late. I don't sleep real well when we have major storms, especially if my wife is, everybody's in the house and I got my whole family here now. My oldest is staying with us for a few months till they get his roommate gets his stuff set up there. So everybody's here. So I have help to close down now. So I'm not as stressed out about it. So I don't have to go run out there right now and close everything down. I'll watch the news tonight at 3 or 4 o'clock, and if I have to close stuff down, I'll have my oldest and my middle son help me as well, and my youngest son will also jump out and help me. I know he will. He does. He has, and he will. So I'll yell at everybody later on. I appreciate everybody coming in. Jeff, Keith, man, I appreciate you popping in. Sam, I'm so glad you're able to come check out the streams, Goody. Shout out to Dave Mopar winner. I appreciate you popping in for a minute, brother. I did give you business a shout out like I promised you. Guys, I will do my best to be in the morning and shoot everybody a text or a link to at least make sure you guys know what I'm going on. And hopefully tomorrow, I will either be doing one of two things, guys. I will either be sheeting this, or we'll be working on the chassis and stretching the chassis. I'm not sure exactly which way the morning will go. That'll all depend on when I wake up in the morning and after I say my good mornings to all 25 or 30 members that I say good morning to every day. Um, I'm touched that everybody, that when I don't say good mornings, it doesn't stop there. People say good mornings to me. I don't have to, expect to get up every day and just say good morning to get a good morning. I have members that literally, even if I have members that if I don't show up for a day or two, they try to hunt me down, and that's family, guys. That's friends and family. You guys aren't just members of a group to me. You guys are my friends and my family. Everybody have a great day. You guys stay safe. For those of you who needs healing, prayers and healing your ways to everybody and anybody. I'll see you guys in the morning. Sam, I'll yell at you in about 20, 30 minutes online. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for coming in. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, this is for you YouTube guys. One last throw in there. Like, subscribe, share, follow. You guys want to check out the videos. We're working on a rebuilder slash scratch build white Freightliner camper. This is the camper framing. As you see, I have the styrene sheet. So if you guys want to check these builds out and these videos out, you guys gotta like, subscribe, follow, share, hit that bell so you guys get notifications when I'm back on. I appreciate you. Everybody have an amazing day. This is Joe from Plastic Addictions Anonymous. I'm out. Bye, guys.